Friends, welcome. World is facing a very undesirable, destructive, avoidable situation due to war between Ukraine and Russia. But critical point is all those who support, plead, nurture democracy probably talk too much but do not do much for maintaining peace, harmony, and unity in the world. Russia, China, many other countries with communist thinking have one approach to life, but democracy and others have another way of life. Question is happiness of the people, citizen, those who are not in power or who do not have much interest in power orientation but like peace, happiness, and joy. They look forward to the mankind for happiness. What has happened between Russia, Ukraine, Western countries, and all those supporting so called free societies is something which leaves lots for all others to think. First, NATO, they say they are free power group, but fact is they are power group. And a power group always have motives, objectives, which may not support others' thinking or motives or objectives. For example, expansion of NATO, Russia sees it as a threat because if the neighboring countries like Ukraine become members, Western powers who are market hungry, who look for nations who can buy their weapons, who can buy their weapons of mass destruction as their clients, as their friends, will use Ukraine to destabilize Russia. This fear in Russian leaders' minds has brought world to this situation. Ukraine, a old part of Russian Federation, when suddenly went to West, it is like a family member joining the opponent's group and bringing enemies to their house. This is what Russia sees, and this is what has brought the current situation. Mr. Putin expressed it in no uncertain words, but Ukraine President Mr. Zelensky probably did not understand it or did not want to recognize it or took it a little too lightly. The point we want to raise it, Mr. Zelensky is saying, I'm not going to leave, I'm enemy number one, my family is number two. Is that the way leaders have to treat each other? Why could not he sit as much with Putin as with Biden and all others and resolve the issues? Why push people who have nothing to do with their power hunger or egos into the fire of war? Now, who is suffering? The people of Ukraine. However, Mr. Putin may say that we are not going to harm the people or the civilian life, it is going to be affected. And while world may blame Mr. Putin, but Mr. Zelensky cannot escape the responsibility that he could have settled the issue across the table with Mr. Putin and avoided the war. By sitting across and talking, he did not have to surrender. But now, having called the army inside, having caused the war of attrition from both sides, can anyone escape? So the first point we want to raise it is good to be bold, it is good to be appear as a hero. But is it not an ego? Is it not playing for your or ego satisfaction that you are pushing people into war in the name of trying to show your boldness? Who is going to fight? Your army? Let the two armies go into the sea and fight with each other. But no, you're fighting on the ground next to the civilian houses. So people are suffering. It is a lesson for whole mankind to understand that leaders have the ego, but common man suffers. Leaders show off as if they are heroes or they are big, bold people who are ready to die, but it is the common man who dies. Therefore, all leaders of the world should think once. Trying to take a stand is good, but trying to take a stand which makes the people as sacrificial goat is not worth. Hence, in the current world, after the World War II, this situation presents a scenario where ego and wisdom need to be balanced. Ego should be kept aside in all neighborly and worldly relations. It may be okay in the personal life within individual. For example, one doesn't want to sleep, one doesn't want to exercise, one wants to do this, one wants to do that. Well, that's personal. Do it, but don't make others suffer for it. Therefore, the first lesson would-be leaders should learn is be heroes by saving the people and by sacrificing the people. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Let's hope the world will become sane soon. God bless all.